I'm at Hyde with Mono, and we're with the Hyde Park 34. Take a look here. A lot of fabrication has gone on. We replaced the late nose with an early nose. That was important. We redid the cage, which I'll come back to in a minute. Fuel cell. And what I really want to do is focus on the cage because, and I'll show some photographs here shortly of what the cage looked like back in the day, but there are these down tubes here that were a bit of a mystery for us. But fortunately, Mono was taking this project on like an archaeologist, and because we only had photographs of the cage from spectator views. We didn't see where things were getting anchored, and the original cage was ripped out and replaced. We took that cage out with the goal of replicating the original cage and also adding some modern safety components as well. The big challenge was those down tubes. So Mono, why don't you tell us how you broke the code in terms of where those down tubes were heading and how you discovered that?
All right. First of all, I don't know if it matters. I do have my minors in archaeology, Roman history, and the military. So I just wanted to throw that on there. So you do have that. You do have to have that mindset.
I love that.
So we only had pictures, and the pictures that strained to find, over these months. And we only had pictures, and it was an awkward type of a roll cage, especially the back part of it. So when the car came to us, part of the cage was cut out. Now we had to cut the rest of the cage out. And when we did, we realized there's literally 3 layers of plates welded. And there's nothing welded in the back. So we needed to figure out what this was, because we knew that the cage early, in the 60s when they put this cage, it was a bolt-on cage. So first thing we did is we drilled holes through those plates and found the original sheet metal. I have to tell you, there's a plate in the bottom that's welded that was added on later on, in racing, which stiffened the chassis a lot better. There's another one on top. So when we took a small hole saw and cut it, we hit the part where the original A pillar, B pillar was bolted on, and that was a great success. Okay, so now we know exactly where it's landed.
So that would have been originally, well, the car was a September 69 build, so late 69, early 70 is when they were converting this to a race car.
Exactly.
And bolting that cage in.
And so we needed to find the actual sheet metal, that the factory body sheet metal, and that's how we drilled through. We found the bolt holes. Okay, so we know where the center points are for the pillar A, pillar B. Now the back bars were the biggest, the archaeological dig that we had to do. So we found these 2 holes right here. There's a hole here, and there's a hole on the other side.
Okay.
And we kind of cleaned the bottom and saw that something was sandwiched here. So we know that this bar definitely landed here. Now we welded it, of course, because this car is gonna race. It's not just gonna be in a showroom, but it would actually race. So we need safety, rigidity, all that other stuff. And then we found the seatbelt bolts. Right where these land, right under them, there are seatbelt brackets that are welded to the body. And one of them was dented in and shifted up. So we know that there was some kind of a force put into this area. And after a long period of checking and cleaning, and we found the actual place where these original cage was, landed or landed on. And we did add a couple of more gussets. We need some strength, because we don't want to lose the car, from if it ever crashes or twists and all that other stuff.
Hopefully I'll do my best to avoid that. There were some bars that went from the roll cage interior into the engine bay.
Right here. So there were some plates welded here, and there were holes made right here, which you can't see anymore. And the key to this, and Riley mentioned, is we want to keep the sheet metal, the original sheet metal on this car without, you know, putting too many new sheet metal pieces or pieces on this. So that's what created a little bit of challenge time. So there was a piece that went right through here forward that was added on later because we looked at the material and it was 120 wall seam steel tubes. So,
well, I think the work you did is just, I don't even know how to say thank you, but thank you.
Fun.
And the biggest coincidence, irony, fate of it is if you look at what we tried to replicate, and it's those down tubes, there's an M that's a figure of the letter M is created. And if you look at Mono's logo, what a small world it is.
It's a sign.
We recreated his company logo and the Hyde Park roll cage at the same time. So meant to be, my friend.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.